Thank you for joining us in the Innovation Room. Our first talk will be live with Carl Chalfant from Alscient.
My name is Carl Chalfant. I'm a Principal Consultant and Cloud Evangelist with Alscient. I live in Leeds in West Yorkshire and have worked within the IT industry for the last 20 years. Today's presentation will introduce two case studies which demonstrate how two different organisations are using cloud technologies in different ways to realise their digital potential. The presentation will provide you with a quick overview of Alscient, who we are and what we do. We'll then look at cloud computing in a bit more detail and identify what the key benefits of it are. The middle part of the presentation will look at two distinct case studies. We'll then take a look at how you can use cloud as a platform and what's already out there to help you accelerate your journey. Finally, we will draw some conclusions from the presentation and give you the opportunity to ask any burning questions. Alscient are a company who were born in the cloud. We've been in operation for 10 years and help organisations of all shapes and sizes realise the benefit from cloud migrations. We partner with leading best-of-breed technology partners to provide the best solution for our clients. We are an advanced AWS partner and have specialisms in two areas, which are end-user computing and Amazon Connect. We are one of only a small number of partners who have strong capabilities across multiple cloud platforms, including Amazon Web Services and Salesforce. We'll now take a look at what is the cloud and what are its key benefits. But before we start, here's a quick question for you. How would you rate your knowledge of the cloud and cloud technologies? If you could just rate that on a scale of 1 to 10 now, that would be great. Okay, thank you. Great stuff. So we're about mid-range there. Okay, so what is cloud computing? Our definition is the provision of network compute, storage and application services which are accessed over the public internet. This is synonymous with everyday utility usage where you pay for what you use. There are three distinct types of cloud model: software as a service, platform as a service and infrastructure as a service. Software as a service is perhaps the one the most commonly known, is where you subscribe to an application. Good examples of these are CRM solutions such as NetSuite and Salesforce. Other examples are email and collaboration tools such as Office 365, Slack and Microsoft Teams. Platform as a service is layered on top of other services where pre-built components are utilized. Good examples of these are Force.com, Heroku and Mendix. Finally, infrastructure as a service is the lowest level building block. This supports the network, compute and storage and security services which are needed to support a cloud platform. The best known examples of these are Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure and Google Cloud. Cloud is the new norm. Cloud is a game changer. It's a disruptive technology enabling new entrants to become household names. Airbnb, Uber, Spotify, Netflix and TikTok. Who had heard of these 10 years ago? Cloud, though, is not just for startups. It's also a great platform for providing your own services, as we'll see in our sample case studies. So, what are the key benefits of using the cloud? Well, the cloud provides massive and elastic scalability to support billions of transactions per month and widely variable demand. Indeed, the Royal Opera House provided an online ticket purchasing system which simplified the booking process and allowed users to sign up in seconds. It also allows for reduced costs and increased agility with serverless computing. The National Trust, for example, provided a data warehouse solution which allowed them to consolidate disparate data feeds into a single data source. This led to a reduction to a third of the TCO of hosting and licensing against their existing on-premise platform. Also, it supports increased security and governance capabilities, meeting rigorous government standards. The DVLA, for example, provides a secure data hub which supports more than 70 million requests per month. And finally, it also allows for greater innovation and the ability to build a platform for the future. Just Giving, for example, managed to automate their development pipelines, which allowed them to rapidly prototype a next-generation reporting solution, which is used for data science experiments and running reports against their big data platform. All of these case studies are available on the AWS website. Okay, here's a quick question for you. Which of the following do you consider to be the most important benefit of switching to the cloud for your organization? If you could just respond back on that now, that would be great. Okay, thank you. Okay, so there's a bit of a split there between elasticity and other. Okay, so in terms of the first case study, we're going to delivered by ourselves, relates to a not-for-profit organisation which provides management information systems to all the schools and nurseries across Scotland. Their products cover two main areas: a schools product, which is accessed by 50,000 users and supports and processes 700,000 student records for 2,500 schools across Scotland. It also holds several million archive records, and a nursery product which was brought in to support the provision of 1140 hours across Scotland. This legislation provides free childcare to every 3 to 5-year-old in Scotland. Together, the two systems hold the golden record for all children in the Scottish education system, from nursery through to the completion of their education. Both solutions provide core school administration features that allow for students and children to be enrolled. The system allows for detailed records about the student to be kept and can be used for timetabling and lesson planning. Additionally, the system supports feeds into other Scottish Government systems to allow for census returns to be taken, and also provides a secure data hub which allows for easier access to data services. The existing solution was reaching end of life and was based on an aging technology stack, which was hosted on-premise, with costly infrastructure to maintain for each of the 32 local authorities, and many of the application components were reaching end of life in terms of support. The new solution was based on AWS's UK official reference architecture. This data classification is associated with guidance and controls that help public sector organisations manage risk and ensure security when handling information assets. Most of the application components are based on serverless technology, which provide for inbuilt resilience. These include, additionally, other components we use. This include an API gateway, which provides a centralized data hub for application services with strict data controls in place to ensure data is only exposed based on assigned partner and user scopes. The serverless components which we used meant that there was minimal server provisioning or management. Indeed, our client only pays for its processing time. The system was also highly resilient to failure, with components automatically deployed over multiple physical regions. We also made use of virtualized desktops based on Amazon Web Services, which were provisioned in the cloud. These provided for a standardized build environment, enhanced provision for remote working, and allowed for automated patches to be applied to the virtual desktops. Additionally, a DevOps environment was provided, which allowed for automated deployments to be performed based on committing updates to a code repository. A code pipeline was provided, which pulled code down from the repository, ran a sequence of steps to build the project, and then deployed it to the designated target environment. This simplified and streamlined the deployment process and removed the risk of manual error. Some of the screens which were developed are shown over the next few slides. With the application being cloud-hosted and accessible via an internet browser, it allowed for access from any UK location. MFA was provided as part of the login process based on detected IP to further strengthen the security posture. Further security controls were in place at multiple layers to provide security in depth. These included the use of web application firewalls, web authorization tokens, and data encryption in transit and at rest. With the application being browser-based, it also meant there was no user installs. The user had greater device flexibility. They could use the desktop, Chromebook, tablet, iPad, or smartphone for access. The application also provided for a responsive design, which meant it repurposed itself based on device type, which reduced the amount of code which needed to be maintained. With the solution being based on serverless technology, it meant that there was no server provisioning or management, which allowed IT staff to focus on innovation. The charge model being based on request invocations also meant there were cost reductions. Flexible scaling also meant there wasn't a need to guess demand and overspecifying infrastructure to meet peaks. Our next case study illustrates how a major children's charity adapted to new ways of working by the use of cloud technologies during the COVID-19 crisis. Our client had a traditional virtualized on-premise infrastructure, with the vast majority of the workforce being office-based. Most key business systems could only be accessed whilst connected to the office network. COVID-19 meant the staff were unable to work effectively. Working remotely was not the norm. Due to the exceptional circumstances, our client had to get a solution in place in a matter of weeks to maintain vital work services. Our solution provided a greenfield AWS deployment, which was managed via AWS Control Tower. The solution provided for account segregation, with security being provided on a least privilege basis. We made use of a template-driven approach to standardize the deployments and to alleviate manual error. Our solution allowed our client to scale quickly, but at the same time also maintain strict security and audit controls. Our solution made use of two end-user computing services. These were Amazon Web Services and AppStream, which was tied to our client's own Active Directory domain. Workspaces were used to provide a fully persistent desktop environment to enable remote working whilst maintaining the familiar Windows look and feel. By contrast, AppStream was used to present traditional client-server applications, including those not migrated to AWS. Our solution allowed our clients' on-premise network to be quickly and securely connected to AWS, with our clients' existing authentication and management capabilities being extended to support their new cloud environment. Our solution allowed our client to reduce their ongoing costs by a short period of cost optimization, whereby we use platform metrics to ascertain the best billing mechanism for each user. Using this approach, the consumption model was automatically switched over to the optimum pricing model based on predefined usage levels. So, what key learnings can we draw from this exercise? Well, the cloud clearly allows us to quickly adapt to changing work conditions. It's clear that there's a need to work with an experienced partner to reduce the initial learning curve and to avoid common pitfalls. And the cloud also provides a secure and scalable foundation for continued digital transformation. So, how can you use cloud technologies as the platform to build for the future? First and foremost, you need a short period to assess your application estate and identify applications which more easily lend themselves to a cloud migration. In the first case study, we've seen how one of our clients used the cloud to automate their development and release processes, and in doing so, reduce their ongoing support and maintenance overhead. In the second case study, our client used the cloud to provide remote working capabilities. Indeed, there are a rich set of application services which are available in cloud environments, which enable you to get started. Indeed, one such leading software as a service provider, Salesforce.com, provide a not-for-profit pack which allows NFPs to quickly leverage cloud computing with pre-built tools mapped to the charity domain. Using this approach, there isn't a need for organizations to build out the infrastructure themselves. The trick is to let the leading cloud platform take care of the innovation and develop the platform capability. And using this approach, it'll future-proof your application estate. The COVID-19 pandemic has made a lot of organizations accelerate their cloud strategies and rethink their ways of working. Tools are available now which allow for fully integrated solutions between different cloud platforms. Indeed, here we see Amazon Connect, the telephony solution which underpins Salesforce's new flagship telephony offering, Service Cloud Voice, fully integrated into the Lightning UI. With cloud, there isn't a need to be tied anymore to localized environments. The cloud is a great enabler and game changer and provides the ability for staff to work from the location that best suits them. To conclude, we'll just pull out a few key points from this presentation. Hopefully now you've got a better understanding of what the cloud technology is. As we've seen, the cloud offers numerous benefits. It allows organizations to increase their agility and more quickly react to changing business conditions. It allows for systems to automatically scale up and down based on changing usage patterns. It has the potential to drastically reduce ongoing operational costs. And there's a cloud solution for pretty much every use case you can think of. So thanks again for taking the time out today and listening. If you could just rate again your knowledge of cloud technologies now that you've listened to this presentation, that'll be great. Okay, thank you. Okay, we've got a bit of an increase there.